In this video, I'm going to share with you something that changed everything for me as a sales professional. Before I started doing this simple thing and made really one silly little change, my sales numbers were pretty much non-existent. Then the light came on, and well, basically overnight, my sales numbers went from 0 to hero, coming right up after this. First off, I'm Doug Massi, and thank you so much for checking out our YouTube channel, Final Expense Trainer. And this is when I'm going to ask for you to give the video a big old thumbs up so that YouTube keeps us relevant. And if for some reason you haven't subscribed already, you should definitely do that. We're putting out new Final Expense sales training videos and life insurance sales content on a weekly basis. And check this out, guys. If you stick around till the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of the new Agent Starter Kit that has really all sorts of sales materials that you can use during your Final Expense sales presentation. Years ago, back in the day when I was first recruited to sell life insurance, I was pretty much clueless, as most people are, well, as to what it took to get people to buy life insurance. Remember, life insurance isn't, tangible. It's not like you're buying a car or a couch where you see the rewards of your purchase every single day and, you get to enjoy it all the time. This is life insurance. It's like buying air. I mean, you're never going to see it. You're never going to feel it. You're never really going to enjoy it. And most of the folks that buy life insurance actually care about somebody. Well, enough to make sure that that somebody isn't stuck financially, when that day comes. This is why it's so easy to just wait until later to buy the life insurance for most people. I mean, nobody expects to die soon, and nobody wants to think about that day, well, at least not to think about what it'll be like when they're confronted with it. Which is why it's so important for us to do every single thing possible that we can do during our final expense presentation that will inadvertently will end up making it easier for the client to just pick an option and hand you the check, making a commitment to, well, a monthly payment for the rest of their lives. And again, for something that they're never actually going to get to enjoy. When I memorized my very first life insurance presentation, it was different. I had never made a sales presentation that long before. And I'd never considered that people actually buy life insurance because, they buy into the salesperson. They buy you, not the product. After just a few weeks of making sales presentations, life insurance, the owner of the company, who was this old guy, up in his 80s, started telling me that he didn't think I was using enough energy, excitement, and enthusiasm during my presentation. And of course, as a noob, my thinking was, well, it's life insurance. The presentation should be pretty straightforward. And this thing was long. I mean, this presentation was crazy long. It was hard enough to get the presentation out each time without worrying about the amount of excitement that I was showing while making the presentations. So for the first couple of months, I really wasn't selling very much. And as a matter of fact, at the rate I was going, I wasn't going to last very long. So, the old guy I mentioned also told me that I needed to record myself making a presentation. When you're new and you're making a new sales presentation, the last thing you want to do is pull out a recording device and record, your conversation with the prospect. To me, it just sounded like a bad idea. Boy, was I wrong. When I finally recorded myself for the first time, it was a game changer. I mean, it was one of those aha moments in my life, in my career, that I'll never forget. It changed everything. It was a single lady, and, like just about all the people, I was meeting with, she didn't buy from me. When I got back out to the car and started playing the recording of the presentation, right off the bat, I realized that I did not sound nearly as good as I thought that I sounded. Well, actually, I sounded terrible. And one of the first things I realized was that I truly had no energy, excitement, or enthusiasm at all while I was making the presentation. I mean, it was pretty monotone. Plus, I was already getting sick and tired of not selling. I mean, honestly, I was fed up. And I was just tired of the nonsense and was thinking about throwing in the towel. That's when I said, enough is enough. And I remember the old man shaking his head saying, I told you, you just don't want to listen. So when I went to my very next appointment, I decided, yeah, enough is enough, and I'm not taking no for an answer. I became willing and ready to do whatever it took to close the sale. Of course, I get to the appointment and the lady was kind of like this doubtful Debbie. I mean, she wasn't making eye contact. She started with the whole, so how long is this going to take nonsense? But as I made my presentation, I noticed that her attitude started to change. And this was because I had changed. You see, instead of doing the same presentation that I made the day before, I started talking with my hands. I became animated. I had nothing to lose, so I started getting all excited and animated, and she started to smile. She even, at one point, laughed at me a little bit. You know, it was because the way that I was just kind of doing all this, flying around during the life insurance presentation. And the important thing is, at the end, she picked an option and she handed me the check. And from that point on, I went from being basically the worst agent in that office to becoming their closer. I mean, from zero to hero literally overnight. You have nothing to lose. Record yourself in your next presentation. I promise you're going to hear something that you don't like, and when you change it and start using a lot of enthusiasm, excitement, and energy during your final expense or life insurance sales presentation, your closing rate is definitely going to go up and your business will get better. And if you use the same energy while booking up your appointments, for instance, you're going to get in front of a lot more people, which means you're going to make even more presentations, which means you're going to help even more families with their final expense or life insurance needs. For a copy of the New Agent Starter Kit, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. For information on joining our final expense sales team, just shoot me an email at that same address. Remember guys, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now, get out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.